A sprawling desert landscape with prickly 300-year-old friends who inspire those who live in Arizona to survive. Tucked into the farthest corner of the Apache Trail is a former fishing village and safe haven called Saguaro Lake Ranch.
How you doing?
Oh, good. How are you?
Good.
Checking in, I assume.
Yes.
What is your name?
Janelle Green.
Okay.
So we're just checking into Saguaro Lake Ranch, and then we're going to do a little tour of the property and kind of explore and see what they have to offer.
The views of the Bulldog cliffs are imposing and yet made me feel as if I was hugging a childhood teddy bear. The calm, salt river lazily rolled its way through the desert landscape. The rooms are rustic and equipped with period pieces that make you want to bust out your western wear, grab your fishing pole. The cabins are far enough away from each other, you can't even hear your neighbor blowing his nose. I was grateful for that because I'm actually a very light sleeper and can hear everything. There are so many activities to do here at Saguaro Lake Ranch, which if you stay tuned, I will be doing an interview with the manager who will let you in on inside tips and secrets here at the ranch. The nights here are perfect for stargazing. Have a catered meal with a luxury Alaskan chef who comes here for the winter time. A full bar is available, delicious and flavorful dishes that will leave you full and still wanting more. You can have a unique night with your family at the cowboy cookout and get serenaded to sleep by the music of high-quality country singers. Hi, Culture Trekkers. We are here with Dale Honey at Saguaro Lake Ranch.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about this property and how it came about?
Sure. So the ranch was built initially for the workers that built the dam, Stewart Mountain Dam, that's our neighbors right here. So in the late 1920s, early 1930s, they built the ranch, the lodge, and all the cabins for the workers that built the dam. And in the mid-30s, it became first a fishing lodge. And then in 1948, the current owners bought it. And this is now the third generation of this family that has run and owned and operated the ranch.
So what kind of activities do you usually see people come in and do here?
We're fortunate to be right on the Lower Salt River, so we have a lot of kayaking and rafting and tubing activities during the summertime. And in fact, we kayak in the wintertime too. In the wintertime, we kayak on Saguaro Lake. But we also do a ton of
kayaking.
Kayaking's great fun.
So meditative.
Yes, and this river is perfect for all experience levels, really, from beginners up to experts, because it's pretty much flat water rafting. There's not a lot of
I know a lot of people when they're kayaking, you get afraid of, am I going to drown if I flip over in the kayak, but it sounds like from what we saw, and I'll show a clip here of the water of the Salt River is very calm, and it does come from the dam. So that is great to know that you offer that. So what other activities do you think groups could do?
We also have some great horseback riding, great hiking trails right here on the ranch. One of the hiking trails that goes up on the ridge behind us goes to a huge rock outcropping that has petroglyphs, so Native American petroglyphs.
Wow.
Which is really beautiful, yeah. And then we follow the ridge and go down through a wash, which is a lot of desert vegetation, and you can see a lot of what we have to offer here in the desert.
The desert vegetation here is a lot more fascinating than I thought it would be. There's so many different varieties of cactus, and learning about how people survived here.
Absolutely.
In
fact, the Sonoran Desert has more varietals of plants than any other desert in the world.
Wow.
It's a very green desert. People are surprised how green it is.
So do you have like an herbalist or a naturalist on site that takes people around and can teach them about these plants?
We don't have one on site, but we have a couple that we know on call that we can call on and have people talk to. But a lot of the staff that work here, they work here because they love this place and they really enjoy the natural aspects of the ranch. And they can tell you a lot about what goes on here from a natural aspect as well.
That's so fascinating. And speaking of the natural part of it, just driving into this place, and even thinking about it, like I'm getting chills. My hair is standing up on end. But you don't have TVs.
Nope.
You don't have, I mean, Wi-Fi, very limited.
Right.
You know, and why is that?
Well, from the very beginning, actually, the current owners felt like they really wanted to offer an authentic Arizona guest ranch, a historic ranch where people can come out, they can get away from
Technology really.
a lot, but just, you know, get out to where you can enjoy nature. Our cabins are rustic. There's no TVs, no clocks, no radios, no phones. There's a lot of windows. It invites the outdoor in. Every cabin has a patio, so you can sit out on a patio. You can enjoy our Bulldog cliffs. You can enjoy the serenity of the Tonto National Forest. And a lot of people come out here just to enjoy bird watching and fishing and hiking the trails and cruising up and down the river. So there's a lot of fun stuff to do at the ranch.
So it's not just integrating yourself into the outdoors. You actually have some elements of the outdoors indoors.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You know, we like to, instead of just sitting in the cabin, we like to invite the people to go outdoors, and we bring the outdoors in as well.
With the cactus that is in the middle. So tell me about this massive cactus.
So we have a 20-foot saguaro cactus skeleton is the feature of our dining room. And if you know anything about the saguaro cactus, it's the sentinel of the desert. It's the one that stands, 20, 30 feet tall. And the cactus that's in the dining room actually came from the bottom of Saguaro Lake. So when they built the dam, they didn't take out any of the vegetation, they just filled it with water. And about 35 years later, they had to do some major work on the dam. So they lowered the water significantly, and he was still standing at the bottom. And because he's basically petrified, at the bottom of the lake, he's very solid and not, if you find him out in the desert, you'll find him to be very brittle and falling apart because of the heat and the sun. Right. This one's in perfect condition, 20 feet tall, lots of different arms, and the arms have the skeleton all the way to the end, which is
almost
really
looks
rare.
Like a marble piece,
right.
That has all of these intricate designs and just goes up into the ceiling like it's almost supporting the ceiling.
Exactly.
It really does feel like, just the presence of, the Native American type curtains and the bedding and things like that.
You will see a lot of wood features that feature the skeleton of the saguaro cactus. They're long, narrow pieces that are very similar in size. So you'll see a lot of roofing sections inside, underneath the roof, some wall sections and fencing that uses the saguaro cactus skeleton.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That
absolutely.
is so fascinating.
It's very cool.
In Guatemala, this is kind of morbid, so, cover your ears, but I was just down in Guatemala, and they use bones from animals to put into their brick to make it stronger against earthquakes and stuff. So that's fascinating that you kind of see that same type of thing up here. Right. So I'm from Utah.
Okay.
Huge families in Utah.
Yes.
Yeah. So how many people can you realistically serve here?
Right. So we have 19 cabins, and we have more cabins, but our idea of the experience we want to portray is the outdoors bringing in. So we have cabins that are in the back of the lodge, and we typically don't sell those, only for groups that need the overflow space. But all of the cabins have a porch, like I said, lots of windows to bring the outdoors in. And so with the 19 cabins, we have king bed cabins, we have queen and twin, so mom and dad and junior, and then we have family cabins. They have 2 bedrooms. One bedroom have a king, the other bedroom might have 2 twins or 2 sets of bunk beds. We can actually sleep 6 in a cabin, in a family cabin. So we can, depending on the configuration of the bedding, we can get up to like 56 people into the ranch cabins.
That's a lot of people, so I bet you get a lot of groups, and
we do.
It does have a nostalgic, romantic feeling almost.
Absolutely.
Would you say it would be a good honeymoon?
It's fantastic for honeymoons and for weddings. We do a lot of weddings here.
And weddings.
And one of the things the owners have always said, we are not a wedding venue. We just happen to do great weddings here.
How could this not be a wedding venue? I mean, it's perfect.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we allot certain weekends. We do destination weddings.
Okay.
So the wedding party buys out the ranch for the whole weekend.
Okay.
Which is great because the people that want to be here for the wedding, they've got actually from noon on Friday till noon on Sunday to enjoy the ranch and all their guests and family. And so they have 3 days to interact. And so the wedding party can interact while the other guests that want to just come and enjoy the ranch wouldn't be here that weekend. So when they come to enjoy the ranch, they don't have a wedding going on. So it's a great way to separate the two.
Yeah, just a really intimate celebration, which is, I feel like that's how it should be.
Yes.
You know, the chaos, and I used to live in Las Vegas, and so the
chaos.
Weddings are just massive and
top.
so much chaos, and you know, this just feels like a celebration of a union that is kind of reflected in how you have built this property, a union of nature and property. So
that's a very good point.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yes. Well, thank you so much, and I will make sure to put a link in the description box below. So if you wanted to book at Saguaro Lake Ranch, be sure to talk to Dan. If you have bigger properties, and even if you just wanted a romantic weekend, this is a great place to get outdoors and really just recenter yourself. So thank you so much. I'm excited to explore.
I appreciate it.